evening, good afternoon, and good morning for some people. This is Henry. In just about 10 minutes, we're going to get the Australian CPI. It is a quarter-on-quarter number. The forecast for this release is expected at 0.4%, and the previous release was actually at 1%. So what we're going to be looking for is a deviation of 0.3%. So if we get a 0.7, it's likely we're going to see some strength returning to the Australian dollar. And if we get a 0% or basically unchanged territory, it would probably be bad for the Australian dollar, as the coming rate decision in February for RBA, they might look at this number and decide that it's time to pause the rate hike process for at least one rate decision. That's what a lot of analysts are now thinking, that because of the last three RBA rate decisions, we have seen 3 rate hikes in a row, and RBA has never done that in history. So most analysts don't think that RBA is likely to hike rate for the 4th time in a row. So with this number being missing expectation, if we get a 0.0, they will no longer have a reason, justification to hike interest rate during the February rate decision. So if we get a worse than expected number, I think the market would probably look to sell the Australian dollar. And of course, with the recent risk aversion sentiment that's going on in the market, as we can clearly see with the equity market, we are going to be getting the pressure of selling high yield currencies and commodity currencies alike because of a stronger US dollar. So that's what we're going to be facing today, and that's the context of the market that we're looking at. So we're looking at a limited upward potential, but then again, it is Australian dollar. It is the one single currency with pretty much the best outlook out of all the majors. So if we get a better number, we'll have to see how far, if there's momentum pushing this currency. If there's a strong momentum pushing it, then we'll probably get in after a good retracement. If there's not, then we could be looking for a sell from the top. So everything is on the table right now with this trade, and we will be doing a retracement trade unless we get a totally ridiculous deviation. Let's say we have a negative number, a negative 3% or 0.3% or so, and that would definitely be a good time to sell the Aussie dollar, because we'll probably see that probably see 89 or even breach of 89 on the back of that number, because with the easing of pressure in the Australian economy, the inflationary pressure, RBA will probably not have any reason to hike interest rate, at least not for this coming rate decision. And because we're looking at what's happening immediately, we will probably see the market starting to dump the Australian dollar. A lot of long traders that were holding the Australian dollar since the 85, maybe even 82, they will probably thinking about taking some profit and hopefully wait for the market to drop down a little bit before they jump back in and start to go long again. So we could see some profit taking going on in place should we get a huge negative number. Now, on a huge positive number, let's say we get 1%, I think Australian dollar will remain strong. We probably will see some muted reaction in the market just because of the overall risk aversion sentiment, but it is very likely that Australian dollar will be able to hold on to its ground and hopefully stay above the 90 cents handle and start to maybe recover a little bit from the losses that we saw in the past few weeks.
Seeing overnight index flow probabilities.
And of course, we are not going to do a spike trading unless we get a huge deviation. But I'll just have this window open just in case if we decide to, if we get a huge deviation.
Seconds we'll be receiving Australia's Q4 CPI. We'll be leading off with the headline CPI quarter over quarter expected at 0.4%, year on year expected at 2%. Quarter over quarter, 0.5% higher than expected.
It's a little bit higher than expected, 0.1% higher than expected. We're seeing immediate reaction.
Q on Q, 0.6% in line. Trend mean year on year, 3.2% in line. Australian dollar moving to press session highs. The Aussie last is 0.9015, up over 0.3%.
So guys, we have a immediate reaction now. I'm seeing a spike to as high up as 90.20 area. We're not seeing it here in this platform, but we're seeing right now showing about 19.17, 18. So we see about 20 pips of jump right now, and we are reaching now at the top of the resistance right here. So we didn't get our deviation.
Now hitting fresh session highs 90.28.
And we're clearly trading now above the clearly trading above the 90 level. Okay, we're seeing some strength returning to the Australian dollar. However, like I said, the number, we didn't really hit our tradable deviation, even though the market is buying the Audi. But I think the movement could be short-lived. I'm not seeing a lot of momentum here buying the Australian dollar. I think the movement could be very short-lived. So if we retest the 30 level, I think I would be interested in maybe taking a sell trade. You know, as I said, it hits the first resistance area and then it bounced back. And we could have taken a sell from the resistance area. Hopefully we'll probably retest it and maybe we'll take a sell from there. Alright guys, I'm going to take a trade here. So let's try to get to as close to the 30 as we can. And I'm only going to give it 25 pips of stop loss. Because if it keep on going, break the 50s, we'll probably see it keep on going. I got in at 22. So, you know, you can wait for it to go back up a little bit, or you can get in around this level. It's up to you, I guess. 30 would be the ideal entry. We're seeing the market really stall around that area. So, you know, you can enter now, you can enter later. So it's up to you when you want to enter. Just remember that 30 pips counting from the 90-30. So once we get to that 90 level, we could see some supporting there. But I think ultimately market is not willing to buy the Audi. Not at this moment. We saw a lot of comeback in the Audi. So that's the plan right now. So if you want to wait to get as close as the 90-30, that's okay. If you want to enter now, that's also okay. Just remember, if you enter now, you just have to make sure that you get out around the 90 cents level. Alright, I'll be monitoring this trade, and I'll let you know if I make any changes. Thank you. Alright guys, we're just going to close the Audi trade. We're closing up to the 90s. I think we waited for it and we got our TP. So I'm going to go ahead and close the trade. There might be some more potential for it to go down, but I think we're close enough. And if we wait for another 15-20 minutes for the Nikkei close, it might just go down a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and close it and call it a night. So everybody, good night. Let me go ahead and do that. Alright. Thank you. And I'll talk to you guys later.